When I was 17, I came home from school and found my bedroom door locked. My things were in trash bags in the hallway. My stepmother stood there smiling, arms crossed, and told me that since I was legally an adult in less than a year, I should learn how the real world works. My dad was away on a 2-week work trip and had no idea. She turned my room into a baby play zone for her new home daycare. I slept in my car for 4 nights until my best friend's mom found out and took me in. When my dad came back, she cried and spun some story about boundaries and discipline and how I cursed at her I hadn't. He didn't make me move back in, but he also didn't do anything else. I graduated, worked 2 jobs, and cut them both off. I built my own life. 10 years later, I'm 27 and I own a boutique interior renovation firm. We mostly do high-end commercial interiors, think reception lobbies, small hotels, spa redesigns. Nothing huge, but the margins are good and I know what I'm doing. I hadn't spoken to my stepmother, Bethany, since I walked out that night. My dad and I talk once or twice a year, birthdays and the occasional forced holiday call. A month ago, I got a new client, a small commercial daycare looking to renovate their space. I was doing the final walkthrough with the owner when I spotted Bethany out of the corner of my eye. She didn't recognize me at first. She looked rougher, heavier makeup, tighter skin, probably some budget Botox. But when her eyes landed on me, she froze. She worked there. Not just worked, she owned it. The daycare I'd been contracted to renovate was hers. Apparently, she'd started it after divorcing her ex-husband, who used to be a lawyer. It's funny how small towns stay small. That night, I did some digging. Her daycare license was squeaky clean, but the lease on her commercial space was up for renewal in 5 months. That gave me time. Now, here's the thing. Bethany's ex-husband, Darren, used to do business litigation. A decade ago, he left her and quit law altogether. Rumor was she drove him to a nervous breakdown, but I didn't know him well enough to care until I found out he lived less than 20 minutes from my office. I reached out. He didn't even ask why I wanted to meet. When I explained everything, how she kicked me out, how she stole my bedroom for her business, how she never apologized, he just nodded like he'd been waiting to hear it from someone for years. I didn't hire him as a lawyer. He doesn't practice anymore. I hired him as a consultant. We found the building's owner, an old man whose daughter had gone to Bethany's daycare 5 years ago. They pulled her out after a disciplinary issue Bethany handled poorly. The guy didn't want drama but admitted he was unsure about renewing the lease. I made him an offer. My firm would do a complete free renovation on one of his other commercial units, something he could rent out at a much higher rate. In exchange, I wanted that building, Bethany's, under my name when her lease ended. He agreed. I played nice until the day her lease expired. No renewal notice, no phone call, just a letter from my firm notifying her that the building was under new ownership and she had 30 days to vacate. She came storming into my office, screaming, demanding to speak to the owner. I let her in. Her face cracked when she saw me. Full silence. I told her she could keep the furniture, out of pity, but the space was no longer hers. She called my dad. He called me. I told him exactly what she did to me when I was 17. He went quiet. Then he said, I didn't know. I told him that was the problem. Now here's the part I didn't expect. Darren, the ex-husband, came by last week. He handed me a small box. Inside were old photos, some documents, and a letter. Apparently, Bethany had forged his signature years ago to take out a second mortgage on a property he'd bought before they married. It tanked his credit. That was the beginning of his breakdown. He said helping me close her chapter gave him something back. I didn't do this for him, or for some poetic sense of justice. I did it because she stole my home and turned it into profit. I took it back. Now she's trying to run her daycare out of her garage. The zoning board already flagged her. I didn't even have to report it. So am I wrong for using her ex-husband to take the building she built her business in and giving her exactly 30 days to leave? Because I slept in a Honda Civic for 4 nights. She can handle a garage.